life that I'm living, I pray I make it through the night. As I ride through my city,
Yo, welcome to another episode of Solo the Culture Podcast. It's your host, Hive, and we back, man. I'm here with another episode with y'all. This one's going to be strictly sports. We're going to talk about NBA MVP, Rookie of the Year. We're going to kind of wrap up, March Madness already finished, but you know what I'm saying? I'm going to kind of go over that just because I haven't went over the national championship for either side yet, men's or women's. I know I'm kind of late on that, but we're going to tap into that. Got some news coming out the WNBA, especially with Angel Reese being traded down to Atlanta, to the Atlanta Dreams from the Chicago Sky, and how the Chicago Sky damn near just rebuilt overnight. And we got some more news coming in with y'all. I know we got some coach drama and some more, so we're going to get right into it. And we're going to start off with the WNBA draft, actually. I know that is just now, like, really starting to kick off. Number one pick right now is Ozzy Fudd, which I know we kind of already assumed that she was going to be going number one. But to hear that she's going number one and she's going to Dallas with her former UConn teammate, the one that she went ahead and, you know what I'm saying, they won a national championship together at UConn last year, I want to say, or the year before last. But boom, they teammates once again, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you have these two here teaming back up in Dallas. I know they're best friends off the court as well, so I kind of want to see what they're gonna do. You know, they got Enrique down there. I don't think that. I think they're gonna have a big three with those three. You feel what I'm saying? I know that they kind of play the same position. I know you could play Enrique at the one, you could play Ozzy Fudd at really the three or the two-ish, kind of. But I'm not gonna lie, Dallas is probably gonna be a team that we're watching for a decent little minute now. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, we probably gonna be watching them for a while because if they can get the right pieces to surround around those three right there, it gets scary. I ain't gonna lie, because those are three made buckets. They know how to win. They just gotta get the right coaching. I think last year they were having issues with terrible coaching. So hopefully I can get them a coach in there that can actually, you know, get them over that hump that they're trying to get over to. But we're going to go ahead and transition because I know the WNBA draft is still, you know, flowing as we speak. But we're going to go ahead and transition into the NBA MVP race. So I know that a lot of people were talking about it's going to come down to between really Wemby and Shai. They had Jokic in there because, you know, Jokic was averaging a triple-double. But let me pull these numbers up real quick because I kind of want to break everybody's numbers down. So as y'all can see, these are like basically the final four for MVP. Like, they're the top four leading in the race. So 9 times out of 10, one of these four players will be MVP. We got Shai. He's averaging 31, 4, 6 with one steal, basically almost 1.5 steal a game. 60-win team. You feel me? Not only that, they number one in the West. He dropped, I think he has 126 games consecutively that he's dropped 20 points. You feel what I'm saying? Not only is he averaging 31, 4, and 6, but I'm pretty sure, let me pull up his number online, though. I'm pretty sure, he's shooting 55.3%. So he's barely missing. That means more than half of his shots are going in. Ridiculous. We got Jokic. He's averaging 27, 12, 10 with one steal, basically 1.5 steals as well. Basically a 50-win team, I think they ended up finishing with 52 wins. Cool. You feel me? He had to do everything on the team. He led the league in rebounds and assists as a center. That's crazy. That's crazy to lead the league in assists as a center. Even though that's how you know everything goes through him. You feel me? He's always going to be in a race. I feel like he's kind of at that point where LeBron was at a point in time where it's kind of like a voter's fatigue. We know that he's the most valuable player in the league, but should we give him MVP type shit? So, boom, we got him there. Luka led the league in scoring, 33.8 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, 8.3 assists, a little bit over 1.5 steals. 50-win team. Nobody expected the Lakers to be that good. I know he just got hurt pretty much like 2 games before the season ended. He has a grade 2 hamstring, him and Austin Reeves, actually. So the Lakers will be going to the playoffs without him or Austin Reeves, with LeBron basically back as that number one option. But the way he was hooping, I think he dropped like a 60-point or 55-point triple-double or something like that this year. He was hooping. Them last 2 weeks, crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, that shit was crazy. So, shout out to Luka. Hope he can get well soon. I know the Lakers wasn't looking forward to him being out, especially with the playoffs coming up like that. It's a tough loss because you basically losing your number. You're losing your number one option. So, luckily you got LeBron, but then you lose Austin Reeves too. So it's like, it's a tough situation for the Lakers out there. I think, well, we're gonna get into the playoff race, but if I'm not mistaken, let me see. I think I want to say they're playing. They're playing the Rockets first round, so they definitely gonna need Luka or at least Austin Reeves because that Rockets defense is kind of crazy. I ain't even gonna lie. Boom, you got Wemby. Basically 25 points per game, 11.5 rebounds, 3 assists per game with 3.1 blocks per game. That's kind of crazy. Almost, I don't know. I think they did get to become the Spurs. They did become a 60-win team. But 3 blocks per game. I want to say Chet was in second place and he was averaging like 1.5, 1.6 blocks per game. So he is basically a whole he doubled their numbers, in other words. So, especially in blocks. So, that's kind of crazy as well, especially for him to be 3 years in. But if I'm looking at all these numbers, obviously, going strictly by the numbers, Jokic should be MVP. Like, averaging a triple-double should not be as normalized as it is. It's crazy because Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double 3 or 4 times and basically made it like it's a fucking regular thing to do. It's to the point that Jokic is doing this on a 50, 52-win team, and no, everybody acting like, oh shit, like, oh, like they're just looking over it like it's just completely normal. That's not normal, especially for a center to be doing that. A center averaging or leading the league in assists as well, crazy. So if you're looking at the numbers, it's clearly Jokic. Like, Jokic, it's like you can't really argue with it. You feel me? You can't really argue with it. But if we look strictly at the numbers, you could go 1A, 1B with Jokic and Luka, right? But if we're looking at the whole entire narrative, you feel me? We gotta give it to Shai. Like, look at what everything he's doing. Bruh, the man barely misses. He's shooting 55% from the field. It's crazy. That's crazy. That means that more than half of his shots are going in. You feel what I'm saying? And Wemby, when it comes to Wemby, it's like they had a great season. Nobody expected them to be second in the West. Nobody expected him to even have a season. Well, I mean, they expected him to get better, but they didn't expect the whole Spurs team to have a season like they had. They damn near swept OKC in their regular season matchups. They blew out all the top contenders. Their defense was crazy this year. So it's like, and it was all led by Wemby. So to see that, it's like, damn, I understand why he's in the MVP race. But would I give it to him? Nah. Just because of the fact it's like, cool, you feel what I'm saying? You in the West, you got some crazy teams in the West, you feel me? You got some tough teams out there. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if I can give it to him. Because it's like, the shit that he's doing now, especially when the way he's leading his team, Ant did it too. You feel me? It's like, and you can't also overlook the great coaching that's going on out there in San Antonio. So it's not only like, oh, he's willing this team, like, okay, you take Wemby out, they not gonna win. Like, no. You can take Wemby out of their lineup, they're still gonna win. It's not like even a LeBron effect at all. You feel me? You take Shai out of the OKC's lineup, they still win. You feel me? But you see the drop off. Like, especially when we played against teams like Denver, when we played against teams like the Timberwolves without Shai, you saw the drop off. Like, we were losing, we'll probably lose by 10 points versus when Shai is in the game, we'll probably win by 10 points type shit. So it's just the impact on the team type thing. Not only that, just his clutchness, like how clutch he's been shoot, and not only that, most of his shots are coming from the midi. Like, he's not shooting threes, crazy, none of that. So if we actually looking at a narrative perspective, I got to give it to Shai. But if we're looking at the pure number-wise, it has to be Jokic. Like, to lead the league in rebounds and assists as a center is crazy. Not only that, your team is a top 5, team in the West, which the West ain't easy. You feel what I'm saying? They're not like no easy ass, oh, you finna just have a cakewalk like LeBron did in the East every single year. Like, no, the West is something crazy. There, you're a third seed in the West. You averaging a triple double, bro. I don't think and when Jokic is out, the Nuggets really feel it. So it's like, man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a Shai fan. I'm an OKC fan. You feel me? If it goes to anybody outside of Shai, you gotta give it to Jokic. You gotta give it to Jokic. And if you don't give it to Jokic, then it has to be Luka. Because Luka's literally leading in every single statistic except for like Jokic. Outside of Jokic, she's beating all of them out. Except, yeah, when it comes to Wemby, his rebounds and stuff. But at the same time, Wemby is 7'6". So I expect the nigga to have 13 rebounds a game. So it's like, for me personally, numbers-wise, give it to Jokic. Narrative-wise, it's Shai. So shout out to those 4. Hopefully, what I'm saying, I know we got a couple of, it might be a good month or so from now before we actually get to know who the MVP is going to be. But that's something to look forward to for sure, because all 4 of those, you can't really go wrong. Except for me personally, I'll say you can go wrong if you go Wemby, but the other 3, Luka, Jokic, or Shai, you can't really go wrong because it's like they all had great seasons. They all technically really could split it 3 ways. Like that season that all 3 of them are having, insane. So that's something that we're gonna keep an eye on. But moving into the next topic, the Rookie of the Year race is tight too. Like, as we've been kind of seeing Nipple and Cooper Flagg, they've been neck and neck. You feel what I'm saying? If we go strictly off of points per game, Cooper Flagg is leading the league in points per game, right? I know that Nipple was right behind him at 18.5. Cooper is leading at 21 points per game. VJ Edgecombe, 16 points. Jeremiah Fierce, 14.3, and then Ace Bailey, 13.8 points per game. So most points though was Nipple, which can kind of go hand in hand because Nipple shoots more threes than him, so obviously he's gonna have more points. But when we go to rebounds per game, Cooper Flagg is there again. He's fourth, 6.7. Derek Quinn ahead of him, 7.1. Raynard, 7.5. Dylan Cardwell, 7.5. You feel what I'm saying? So they tied for that. Most rebounds, Derek Queen. But guess what? Cooper Flagg is there again. Assists per game, Andrew Nembhard, 5.3. Cooper Flagg, 4.5. You feel what I'm saying? So as we can kind of see, even right there, steals per game. Second in steals per game. He's 5th for blocks per game. So they kind of see like everything that I was finna call him Luka. Everything that Cooper Flagg is doing this year, I think hands down he's going to be the Rookie of the Year. I know a lot of people want to get an argument with Nipple just because of he's been averaging 18. Nobody expected him to have the season he's having. The Hornets are actually a 7th seed or 8th seed. I know for sure they're in a play-in. They're having a great season. You know what I'm saying? They went on like a 9 or 10 game win streak earlier this year. So to see, and I want to say Nipple actually led the Hornets in threes this year. So to see what he's doing out there and that whole turnaround with the Hornets, it's like, cool, you might want to give it to him, right? Because you look at Dallas, I want to say they went 22-50 this year or something like that. They had a terrible season. They had to trade AD, but a lot of this shit doesn't have to do with Cooper Flagg when you think about it. A lot of this shit is still stemming back from the loss of Luka. So just to see what they both was doing. When you look at Cooper Flagg's resume, top 5 and everything for rookie stats. And he led his team as a rookie in multiple statistical categories. So to see that, I'm not gonna lie, I gotta give to Cooper Flagg. He had multiple 40-point games, couple 50-point bombs. I think he had 1 or 2 50-point bombs this year. Nipple, don't get me wrong, he is nice. The boy is nice. He's gonna be a premier player in the league. He may be an all-star. He might not though, but he may be an all-star. especially if he stays in the East. He might be an all-star 1 or 2 times, you feel what I'm saying? But we know for sure Cooper Flagg is gonna be an all-star. It's just a matter of when. You feel me? Like, Cooper Flagg, if they can get the right pieces around him down there in Dallas, it's over with. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say he's gonna be running the league because obviously you got Wemby up and coming. You still got Shai. You still got just dogs all over the league right now. You feel what I'm saying? And all types of kids like that. But it's one of those things that if Dallas can build a team that they built around Luka, around Cooper Flagg, I ain't gonna lie. We might see Dallas get a fucking chip. I know they still got Kyrie out there, which he might not come back the same that he was. You feel what I'm saying? Especially coming off an ACL injury. I want to say this is his second time messing up his knee. So it's like, it's a toss up with that. But if you could get him another piece out there, get him another superstar, and then build role models around him, and you get vet players around there, it's like shit. Shit, I ain't gonna lie. Dallas might be able to, you know what I'm saying, get back to where they once were. But they gotta invest into the whole team and invest around Cooper Flagg. Because if not, it'll get ugly soon. You feel what I'm saying? I think they end up racing his career, or he end up trying to force his way out. So my pick for Rookie of the Year has to be Cooper Flagg, hands down. It shouldn't be an argument. He leads his team in basically majority of the categories, statistically. He's in the top 5 for all rookie stats. You feel what I'm saying? He's had multiple 40-point games. I want to say 1 or 2 50-point games. Colin Knippel, like I said earlier, led his team in threes. The Hornets had a crazy turnaround. Nobody expected Colin Knippel to be the player that he, started out to be in his rookie year. So it's exciting to see, but it's like, ugh, I ain't gonna lie. When that boy Cooper Flagg is hooping, it's something different. I ain't gonna cap. Just that he just got a different dog in him. And don't get me wrong, Colin Knippel got it like that too. But it's like Cooper, he's something different, dog. I ain't gonna lie. He's gonna be a premier. Like, that's gonna be a multi-time all-star right there. You feel me? So shout out to those two. I know that they're leading the rookie race right now. I'm pretty sure Cooper Flagg is gonna get it. I don't think it should really be a question about it. So shout out to Cooper Flagg if he does win it. Shout out to whoever does win it, whoever doesn't. Hey, hopefully you get that MVP or get you an All NBA, something. You feel what I'm saying? But shout out to them boys right there. You feel me? Boom. So now let's move into the NBA playoffs, because the playoffs, I know it's heating up. You feel what I'm saying? Just to see the teams that are about to play against each other in these first rounds, it's gonna be nice. So first, let's do the play-in. So Tuesday, April 14th, I'm going to Hornets. You feel me? They rolling right now. They have a young squad that started off kind of bad. They started off shaky. They had a lot of injuries, you feel what I'm saying? But now that they're fully healthy, it's like, cool, let's roll. You feel what I'm saying? So you can give me the Hornets. I'm taking the Hornets to make it out the play-in, actually, coming out the East. I think they're going to be the 7th seed over there, just because of the fact that I don't see maybe the 76ers, but I mean the Magic, yeah. I can see the Magic taking the 7th seed over them. But I see between the Magic and the Hornets coming out that play-in, just because they're hot. Both teams are. I think that, especially getting everyone back healthy and clicking at the right time, I think the Hornets are going to go ahead and run some teams off the court. So the Suns and Trailblazers. You can give me the Trailblazers in this one. I know the Suns, they're starting to catch their stride just a little bit. I know Dylan Brooks was hurt for a while with that hand injury, and he's finally back. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna go with the underdog right here. I'm gonna go to Trailblazers. You feel what I'm saying? I know Devin Booker has the experience with the Suns, but give me the Trailblazers all day. 76ers and Magic. I think the Magic gonna go ahead and run away with this one. I think the 76ers, yeah, they got the squad. I know Embiid has been hooping again lately, but it's just like, I don't know. I can't put my trust inside the 76ers. They always, you know what I'm saying, look good, and they make it motherfuckers be like, oh, damn. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they might do something this year. But then they always do that shit and fucking do some goofy shit. So it's like, I can't fuck with it, man. Give me the Magic with that one. And then the Warriors and the Clippers. I'm going Clippers just because I know what Kawhi does when it comes to very like clutch moments. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with the Clippers with that one. And then the Warriors, I don't know, man. They still just old and just not haven't found it. You feel what I'm saying? I know they running off of Steph right now, Steph and Draymond, but it's just like I don't see it. You feel what I'm saying? I think they need another year, just rest, go to Cancun for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Rebuild over this off season, figure out who you want to put around Steph, and go from there. Because I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of looking ugly for the boys. It's kind of looking ugly, and I ain't rolling with them, man. I ain't gonna lie, they ain't rocking, I ain't rolling, man. So shout out to them. Let's get into the regular playoff picture though. This is the standings right here in the Western Conference. As you can see, OKC finished with a number 1 seed, 64 wins. Spurs 2, Nuggets 3, Lakers 4, Rockets 5. Then we got the Timberwolves 6, and then we have the play-in teams right there, 7 through 10. In the East, the Pistons finish out with the number 1 seed. You feel what I'm saying? That's kind of crazy. And they just got Cade Cunningham back. That's going to be a great thing to see for them boys out there. We got number 2, Boston Celtics. Got Jason Tatum back as he's starting to catch his stride. You know what I'm saying? I think the Celtics, don't sleep on them. Obviously, you can't ever sleep on them. But it's like they might fuck around and take a team out of there that you think is gonna win it all, and they might fuck around and creep up and win something. You feel me? You got the Knicks, which I think they're gonna end up getting put out early, but we got the Knicks at number 3, Cavs at number 4, Raptors at number 5, the Hawks. The Hawks made the 6th seed. They had a great second half of the season. I know they started off kind of mid, you know what I'm saying, literally like won the same amount of games that they lost at the mid-season point. But now, hey, they had a second half turnaround, so especially behind Jalen Johnson. So to see that's lit to see. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta's finally good again. And as you can see, we got the 7 through 10, the playoff teams that we mentioned before. So if we're looking at the playoff standings, who's going to play who first round, and that's including the play-ins. So when you look at the play-ins, we already went in. Those are the side ones. So 9 through, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 8. We already went through those. I gave y'all my picks for them. Whoever wins, you know what I'm saying, between coming in as the 8th seed, you know what I'm saying, they will play in the playoff. In the play-in, whoever wins, that 8th seed, they will have to play the number 1 seed. Whoever wins the 7th seed will have to play that number 2 seed. So, my pick for who's going to get the 8th seed coming out the West, I ain't going to lie. I'm going to give it to the Clippers. I think the Clippers going to play OKC first round. I think OKC is going to go ahead and put them out. I think it's going to be a sweep. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the Clippers going to win the game. They're old. They can't run the floor like that. They got DG. You feel what I'm saying? DG, Darius Garland, he's been hooping lately. But it's just one of those things that I just don't see them. Obviously, they're not going to beat the OKC team. That 7th seed to play the Spurs. Honestly, give me the Trailblazers. You feel me? I think the Trailblazers is going to win that 7th seed. And obviously, I think the Spurs are going to go ahead and sweep them as well. I don't think it's going to be. I think those first 2 seeds, they're going to go ahead and get them boys out the way. So then we got, and this is going down to Western Conference first. We got the 4th and the 5th seed. We got the Lakers and the Rockets. I'm going I'm going to go Rockets just because Luka and Austin Reeves are out. If Austin Reeves and Luka were playing, I would go with the Lakers, but I can't bet against KD and them boys out there, especially when your best player is out. I can't really do that. So it's like, give me the Rockets in that one. I think it's going to go down to about 6. I think the Rockets will beat them 4-2. The fucking series of the first round, which is a kind of crazy-ass series, but the Timberwolves and the Nuggets, that's going to be competitive as fuck. And if you ask me, I'm going to Nuggets. I like the Timberwolves. I fuck with Ant. You feel me? Ant is always going to be one of my favorite players. But with Jamal Murray start hooping in the playoffs, with Jokic, they both clicking. And then you got Aaron Gordon, he's healthy. I ain't gonna lie. Now you got some shooters around you too that you was missing last playoffs with Cam Johnson. It's like, ugh. I ain't gonna cap, dog. You could give me the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are gonna go. I think they're gonna go to 7, and I think the Nuggets gonna get them in 7. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's gonna go down 4-3 Nugs. I think Jokic is gonna control that series for sure. So if we switch over to the Eastern Conference, the team I think is gonna get the 8th seed out the Eastern Conference. I really believe the Hornets are gonna get that 8th seed. Well, really, no. I'm gonna go to Magic. I think they're gonna keep that 8th seed right there. So I think the Magic are gonna play the Pistons. I think that one will actually go to 6. I think the Pistons would get them in 6, especially if Cade is back 100% healthy by that time. They'll definitely get him in 6-4-2. I'm gonna go to Pistons. So the 7th seed, like I said earlier, I think it's gonna be the Hornets. I know they blew out Boston earlier this year, but it's playoff time. Different. It's a different atmosphere. Different teams. That's when experience come into handy like a motherfucker. So boom. You can go ahead and give me the Celtics as well. I think it's gonna go down to 6. I think the Hornets gonna go ahead and sneak 2 games in there. I think they'll sneak one in at home, one in Boston. So give me the Hornets. I think they're gonna end up losing in 6-4-2 to Boston. Cool. Now Toronto versus the Cavs. Now, this could be a series where Toronto upsets the Cavs. I'm not going to lie. I know everybody think the Cavs are going to go and be that team that might fuck around, go to the finals out the East this year. I personally don't think so. I'm going to go with the underdog on this one. Give me Toronto. And it's going to go down to 7. Toronto's going to beat the Cavs 4-3. The Hawks and the Knicks. The way the Hawks are running teams off the floor right now, I like the Knicks. I like the Hawks. I like how the Hawks have been playing. But give me the Knicks in 6. You feel me? I think the Knicks going to go ahead and take care of business. I think experience is going to come into play here as well. Hopefully, Cat goes ahead and hoop because when he hoops, he's honestly could be the best player on the floor. So it's like, give me the Knicks in 6 right there. You feel what I'm saying? So with the playoffs coming up, I'm not going to lie. I think the Western Conference Finals are really going to come down to really like OKC and the Nuggets. If they don't see each other in the second round, I have to see how the whole playoff web goes this year. But I think it's going to come down to those 2 teams. I think that OKC will pull it out in 7 once again. I think OKC is going to come out the West just because of how they're clicking right now and how even with Shai being kind of fatigued a little bit, everybody else is stepping up. Like, fucking Chet just had a 34-11 game the other day. So it's like, give me OKC to come out the West, and if we're looking at the East, it's a tight race out there. You feel what I'm saying? I'm personally gonna go between the Pistons and the Celtics, especially if they don't have to play each other in the other round. Like I said, I gotta look at the web. But if they find each other in the Eastern Conference Finals, it's going to be a crazy matchup. And I'm not going to lie, give me Boston. Because at that point, you got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You feel me? Detroit needs another superstar. I think Boston will probably be coming between Boston and the Pistons. One of those 2 will be coming out the East. My pick is the Celtics. So I think it's going to be a Celtics OKC Finals this year. Prove me wrong. We're going to see soon. But if you ask me, Celtics, OKC, and I'm going to go OKC in 7. You feel what I'm saying? So these are my picks just before the finals, hit, before the playoffs start. So when it happens, motherfuckers be like, oh, shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I said that shit. You feel me? Like, it's one of those things that I don't know. I don't see anybody being better than the Celtics this year in the playoffs. I don't see, especially if they're 100% healthy. And in the West, OKC is just still that unstoppable force unless they come into a team. And the only team I can see beat them is the Nuggets. And that's if they're really, really clicking. Jamal Murray got to be scoring like he's Jamal Murray. He can't have no off games. So it's like, shout out to them. But I think that is going to be OKC and Celtics finals this year. You feel me? So hopefully both teams can stay hot. I hope my prediction is correct because I ain't gonna lie, we got money on the line with that. But as we started talking about earlier, the big dog, you know what I'm saying? Angel Reese. It's tough to see. She got traded out of Chicago this year. Let's pull up her Atlanta jersey. Earlier this week or last week, she was traded out of Chicago down to the Atlanta Dream. I know last year, especially in the middle of the season and towards the end of the season as well, she was having some issues with the front office out there in Chicago. So it was kind of, we knew it was coming, but it was like, when was it coming? You get what I'm saying? Especially with her having, she was bumping heads with the front office. Like she was coming out basically saying the team wasn't built to win at all. They were trash, all type of shit. So it was just a bad situation. It was time for her to get a new location. But Chicago, I'm not even gonna lie, off of this trade, they damn near just built a whole new fucking, like, bruh. They got Carrington, Skylar Diggins, Rakia Jackson, Azaria Stevens, and Camila Cardoso. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this team here, they might actually fuck around and do some crazy shit. You feel what I'm saying? I thought that losing Angel Reese, they were going to be, down in the motherfucking, hit the gutter for a little bit, get the number 1 picks, come back like that. But they fucked around and were able to get 3 big free agency splashes in pretty much one night. Like, it was almost crazy. They found them all back to back to back to back. You feel what I'm saying? You get a veteran in Skylar Diggins. You get scores and Rakia Jackson and Azara Stevens. You feel what I'm saying? Carrington is coming over there. We already know what she does on the defensive end of the ball and on the offensive end. So it's like she's bringing that fire to the team. So I'm excited to see what Chicago got in store. You feel what I'm saying? They might be one of those teams that might be a sleeper team and fuck around and do something this year too. So shout out to Chicago. Y'all definitely got better. I know that Angel Reese was complaining about y'all being so trash last year, but hey, shit, y'all motherfuckers picked that up real quick as soon as y'all traded her and started building around her, which is crazy. And I know a lot of people thought that, like, oh, trading Angel Reese was going to be like their biggest downfall. You know what I'm saying? They're going to lose a bunch of fans and shit like that. But if you win, the fans will come. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to the Sky. I want to see what they have in store for the season. You feel what I'm saying? Especially after trading Angel Reese and picking up those 4 players. Because if you trade Angel Reese, you have to have something. Like, you have to have something in store. Because if you don't, it's like you just got to make it make sense. You can't trade a player like that and not, you feel me, be ready for, what's to come after that. But shout out to the WNBA. Next episode, I'm gonna definitely have more going into the WNBA draft. I know that right now, just as I started in, they just had started the draft. So I'm gonna definitely have more on that next episode for sure. But let's get into a little bit of this coach drama, man. I know that Eric Ebron, he just started a new podcast. It's called Oh My Soul. So I have 2 clips I want to play for y'all. And we're going to get into this right quick. Talk about him and Andrew Luck, by the way.
His is in the back, mine's in the front. We're in cahoots about what are we going to do? Are we going to play or are we going to, get the surgery? If we get the surgery, we're going to miss the first 3 games. We're trying to win the Super Bowl this year, D-Led. We have the best team in football 2019. They're begging me. They're like, Ebron, you can't get surgery on your ankle because we have a mission. We have something we need to do. The staff got so mad at Andrew because he was bringing them in and not listening to their protocol. Andrew then decides that he's so tired of injury and he just doesn't want to do surgery. You know who the man is around there that gets on everybody's nerves? Big Draws over there behind that desk. He tells Andrew, you're either playing this year or we're moving on. Who the would tell Andrew Luck that?
Exactly. That's crazy. I never knew that. That's crazy.
Andrew Luck now says, I'm not going to be ready. I'm tired of playing with pain. I retired. We all find that out, week 3, and we play in the Chicago Bears?
Mid-game, bro.
Mid-game, we find out we're not going to have our starting quarterback for that year. Andrew Luck and I both got bone spurs in our eyes.
To see that, first of all, Big Draws over there that he talked about is Chris Ballard. You feel what I'm saying? GM of the Colts. Fucking terrible. You feel what I'm saying? Who the fuck would tell somebody like Andrew Luck that either you gonna play or we gonna move on? That's fucking insane. You feel what I'm saying? And this is not the first time the Colts organization has fucked up like that. Even with Peyton Manning. Yeah, it worked out because we got Andrew Luck right after that. But they pretty much forced him into being released. And I know that they say that Peyton Manning talked his way, you know what I'm saying, and talked them into drafting Andrew Luck or whatever like that. But they wanted him to play through his neck injury as well. So it's like, bro, we have to get rid of Chris Ballard. Even this offseason, we haven't made any splashes. We haven't had any moves. We have progressively gotten worse. We got rid of fucking Zaire Franklin. Now we're about to get rid of Kenny Moore. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck are we really doing? Especially, why are we letting this nigga just continuously drown our team? Boom. Now let's go back to D. Leonard real quick, because D. Land also had something to say about this whole thing, because he said he was in the same predicament with the same guy. And mind you, Darius Leonard was on track to be he is one of the greatest defensive coaches ever. So look at this.
Started treating me crazy in the facility a little bit, the way they was kind of talking to me or whatnot. Next thing you know, we go play against damn Patriots overseas. We go to that game, he like, hey man, you played against the Patriots a lot. The power pass, we worried about. We're gonna put Kenny in a bad situation. How can you help us here? I said, all right, if it's a power, the tackle hand in the dirt. If it's power pass, his hand is out, he's in a 2-point stand. Oh man, this is great. Boom, 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 boom. We go out there, it came down to the damn last drive, for us to win. Came out to be a power pack. I barely tip it, man. We catch an interception. Ball game gets over with. We got a bye week. We lit it. I've been trying to talk to Gus for approximately about 2 or 3 months, trying to figure out what can I do to get on the field. He walks up to me after we take the team picture, bro. No lie. He looks at me with this little evil ass look and say, come on to my office. You can finally have this meeting that you've been asking for. Bro, I get in there, bro. He said, you ever thought about playing for another team? I said, no. He said, well, I think that we're about to let you go. So let me go. What did I do wrong? Because no matter what, my money was guaranteed. So I was like, man, what do you mean? He was like, yeah, I think that we're going to go a different direction. We need different leaders. I said, different leaders? So I was like, bro, I hold everybody accountable, including myself. Like, I treat people the right way. Like, what you mean by that? I'm out of there. Don't worry about it. I'm going to Chris. They said that you're cancer in the locker. I said, cancer in the locker room? They say that you don't watch film. I said, I don't watch film.
Oh my God, bro.
I'll get back with some stuff that I'm like, bro, this ain't true. Like, none of this is true. And now I'm like, I'm heated. They started treating me crazy.
Man.
In the
And to see
facility
that,
a little bit.
see them doing my dog D. Lynn like that, bro, is crazy. Because it's like, Darius Leonard was a dog. If you know, you know. The nigga led the league in forced fumbles, was a fucking tackle machine, all type of shit. Like, he was literally that leader, that middle, a heart of our defense. And yeah, he had a back injury. You feel what I'm saying? At the time, everybody thought that he was coming back from that back surgery, so he was kind of shaky. But it was like, it wasn't a time to trade him or let him go. You feel what I'm saying? Even how they treat him, saying he don't watch film. Like, come on, dog. He was a fucking dog. The way he could fucking just get around the field, he was floating around the field. You feel me? So it's like, we have to get rid of Chris Ballard. We have to get rid of the owners of the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, they might end up moving them boys out of Indianapolis, but it's like somebody has to step in and really take control of that organization, because they are fucking over our organization at this point. Like, those are just two examples of major star players that should have still been playing with us to this day, that are no longer in the league. You feel what I'm saying? Just because of what happened with them in Indianapolis. So shout out to them, man. Hopefully the Colts can get right. You feel what I'm saying? Get rid of Chris Ballard, because it's time to get rid of that boy. I'm really tired of all these stories coming out about him. I'm tired of, like I said earlier, our fucking defense has gotten progressively worse. Offense progressively worse this whole offseason. We went from being 8-1 to literally shit in the bed, not making the playoffs last year. We ain't made the playoffs in damn near 5 or 6 seasons. At some point, something has to shake. Ever since we had Chris Ballard in as our GM, we have been ass. We made the playoff one time. One fucking time. And I know playoff injuries play a role, you feel what I'm saying? Bad luck, all type of shit. But it's like, bro, at some point, we have to make changes in that front office. And I think that the first change we need to make is Chris Ballard. We already changed head coaches, I want to say damn near 3 times, twice by now for sure. So it's like, bro, get rid of Chris Ballard. get our organization back on track and let's go win this thing. You feel what I'm saying? Especially in our division is not getting no easier. Like, look at the Jags. They are coming. Like, them boys, they getting better and better. They not getting worse. So it's like, shout out to the AFC South. Shout out to the coach. You feel what I'm saying? Hopefully we can go ahead and get to where we need to be. But fuck, man, it sucks being a Colts fan just because of how we got to go through this shit every single fucking year, dog. Like, every fucking year we have to go through this shit. So hopefully something can shake and we can be back on top soon. But moving on to like the last two topics of the day. One, Michael Malone hired out there at UNC. He's a new head coach of UNC's men's basketball team. I think it's a great pickup. You feel what I'm saying? As we know, he was the assistant coach out there with the Warriors with Stephen Clay right before they won that first championship in 2015. He was on the coaching staff with LeBron when he was still in Cleveland, first stint in Cleveland. He won a championship with Jokic, turned Jokic into the player that he pretty much is today. So it's like, I believe that it's a great pick. You feel what I'm saying? Especially as a coach out there in UNC, they haven't won anything since like 2017. They haven't even been to a national championship. I know that they got put out off a heartbreaking loss this year in the national championship. I mean, in the NCAA tournament. But I don't know. I think that he could bring back some winning ways. I think that if some these players, you know what I'm saying, if they really want to make it to the league and they, see a coach like that, somebody that's won an NBA championship, coach the MVP, and coach somebody that could who hasn't been in an All-Star game, but should be a multi-time All-Star already in Jamal Murray, it's like, shit. Hey, if I'm a up-and-coming high school player, I'm trying to go out there. You feel what I'm saying? Somebody with NBA experience. You feel what I'm saying? That got the connections that could put my name in somewhere where I could be like, okay, cool. Like, I'm either know I'm gonna get drafted or it's a chance that I will get drafted type shit. So shout out to Michael Malone out there at UNC. I think it's a great pickup. I think it'll be a matter of time before he could change, turn them all the way around, get them back to like a Final Four type team. But give him about 2-3 years, if you ask me. And I think you will be talking about UNC real heavy. The same way you talk about the Michigans, the Arizonas these last couple of years, especially with the portal being as wide open as it is. For sure. This is a great pickup for UNC. So we'll be seeing them on top real soon. And for the last topic of the day, you feel me? The national championships. As we saw, UCLA, their women's team, they won on the women's side. And then we had Michigan men's team. They won for, obviously on the men's side. And both games are actually pretty good. Michigan, they ran into UConn. And I think that, honestly, I'm not mad at them being a winner. Because at the way that they blew out Arizona, I was like, okay, we already knew Michigan was the real deal because they pretty much came up and won by fucking 30. They were up like 72 to 40 something at one point. So it was like, we already saw the clear like difference between those two teams. And for everybody saying, oh, Arizona's so complete, they're the best team in this tournament, blah, blah, blah. It's like, to see Arizona get their ass beat like that, it's like, okay, Michigan, them boys, they hungry for something, you feel me? And Dusty May, he's from, Indiana native right there. Actually coached FAU to the Final Four, 3 years ago in 2023, out there at FAU with Jonell Davis and all them men right there. So it's like, shout out to Michigan. You feel what I'm saying? I used to be a huge Michigan fan, especially when they had Glenn Robb, Trey Burke, and them boys like that. I used to go crazy for Michigan. So to see them actually on top and winning and shit like that, hey, that shit lit. You feel what I'm saying? They hands down the best Michigan team to do it. I know they did it at 89 when Rice and them boys, but I don't think they did it like this. You feel me? Shout out to Michigan. UConn, they're also a team that, they won off a buzzer beater against Duke, which was super crazy because that shot right there, I thought Duke was either going to call UConn. One of the teams I thought they was going to call timeout or he was going to miss that shot. So to hit it from basically the logo like that is crazy. I know he's a campus legend right now, especially after that game. That pretty much put them in the national championship game because after that, they played Illinois. They handled business right there and went and they lost, I want to say 69-62 to Michigan in the national championship. So shout out to UConn as well. because they had a great season. They were a team that nobody really talked about, and they made it all the way to the national championship. So shout out to them. And then on the women's side, UCLA blew out fucking South Carolina. That was something nobody expected. I am not gonna lie. Like, nobody expected that shit. I thought South Carolina was gonna come in and dog walk UCLA. It turned out to be the opposite way around. UCLA, they were overlooked. You feel what I'm saying? Underhyped. They had about 3 All-Americans over there. So to see them go so under the radar like that was crazy. I thought the national championship was really going to come down, like the winner was going to come down between UConn and South Carolina. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, whoever won that game between those two, that's going to be the national championship for sure. Hey, UCLA came through, proved everybody wrong, had Lauren Betts out there, went crazy. You feel me? Came in, got them a 20-point dub, won their first national championship ever. So shout out to them women out there. That's lit. That's exciting to see. I know y'all are definitely campus legends because y'all just won y'all first national championship in school history for the women's side. So shout out to them. Shout out to both national champions. I know this is probably they at the height of their fucking careers right now, especially those who are coming back to school next year, is overly lit. And I know those who are going to the league, especially if you get drafted, it's like, damn, I won a national championship and I got drafted. Height of my life right now. You feel me? So shout out to them. Hopefully everybody can stay healthy and come back next season and UCLA could possibly do it again. And then I think Lauren Betts, if I'm not mistaken, she just got drafted. Let me find out who she got drafted to really fast for y'all. Because Flagg, she just got drafted by the Golden State Valkyries. Gabriella Jaquez to Chicago Sky. Lauren Betts, Washington Mystics. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to those women. Hopefully they can have long, great careers. And we'll be talking about them here in the future. You feel what I'm saying? I know their season starts in June, so it's going to be exciting to see, especially with all this new, you know what I'm saying, all these women getting these new deals and people teaming up, all these teams having more money to add superstars. So it's going to be an exciting season to see, especially with this new CBA, man. So with that being said, it's been a great episode. You feel what I'm saying? I've been trying to catch up with sports with y'all. I've been trying to keep up with everything. We're going to get some more sports episodes in for y'all for sure. I'm going to have a culture episode back up on Friday. Hopefully we can get a sports win in by Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Especially to go over, even if it's just going over the play-in tournament. I think I'm going to get one out by Sunday or early Monday for y'all. But let's get it, man. Next time y'all see us, the play-in will be happening. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we'll get some more into the WNBA draft. And yeah, man, we'll see y'all in the next one. Make sure y'all always be a great person at every and anything y'all do. Take accountability always. And shit, don't ever be a bitch ass nigga. For sure. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with any and everybody y'all possibly can. You feel me? And I'm going to get at y'all with the next one very soon.
In this life that I'm living, I pray I make it through the night. As I ride through my city,